Good morning, everybody. Sorry, we got kicked out for a second. Welcome to BRCASTRONG Live Sunday, March 14th, coming on to share some amazing news and our new programs that we are offering. So thank you again, as we're just waiting for Dr. Alexia to join us this morning and share some amazing news that we have with you. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Tracy, the founder of BRCASTRONG, and I'm honored to be here and share this amazing information with you and let you know what is going on in our community and how we can continue to make a difference in the world of our breast cancer community. First and foremost, make sure you have checked out our new website and all of our new information that is available to you. We have some amazing resources. We don't only have Instagram, we also have a public Facebook group and a private Facebook group. Our private Facebook group is a safe place for women to join, to just talk about their stories and see what's going on and see how we can help. And just know that we're a community that comes together to share love and to support, because one thing that we want to do is eliminate the feeling of isolation. Good morning, Dr.
Hey,
Alexia.
Jesse, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I have to tell you the funniest thing. So I text you like I'm coming on because I had a hot flash and I took off my sweatshirt. And then I got cold and I was like, I gotta get back on the video, but I forgot where I put the shirt.
Well, where's your doTERRA Peppermint Essential Oil? We must have to send you one. We must have to send you one, as
Listen,
we're so honored to partner with them actually coming on.
yeah,
Talking
that's so
about
dope.
hot flash.
Yeah.
They sent us 75 5 milliliter bottles of natural peppermint essential oil. So excited.
Here. I
Yeah.
lived with peppermint oil. I used to put it in the palms of my hands and cup it against my nose when I would get nauseous. Because I got wicked headaches from Zofran and it makes you constipated, and that's typically what they send you home with. And
Right.
the other anti-nausea medicines have just side effects I wasn't willing to tolerate. So I would use peppermint oil to curb my nausea when I was on chemo.
Well, you want me to tell you a trick about peppermint essential oil to everybody that's listening? Hot flashes and peppermint essential oil work hand in hand, because you know how, like, when you put Vicks on your body, you get like that cooling sensation.
Yeah.
So my trick is wake up in the morning and put peppermint essential oil on. And literally, I put it behind my neck and behind my ears. I know people don't like to walk around and smell like peppermint. I just say it's my perfume. And literally, it helps so much. I put it on my pillow. You have no idea. Like, it just is a cooling sensation relief. So in the middle of the night, we're not like, oh my God, oh, we're cold.
Yeah.
So, and cooling sheets, I have to try them. I don't know if you have, but I've heard there's cooling sheets now for our beds, which I'm like, really? This is awesome for women who have hot flashes.
Yeah.
Bed Bath and Beyond have it. And I'm like, I think I might have to go try them soon.
Yeah.
Right? Anything will do for comfort, right?
Yep.
So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. We are so excited to be here this morning. As I took Dr. Alexia's words from her page, is what's happening. I wanted to share what is happening at BRCASTRONG. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Tracy, the founder of BRCASTRONG, where we alleviate the emotional and financial burden of women facing breast and ovarian cancer, regardless of predisposition, through advocacy, direct assistance, empowerment, and events. And today we have Dr. Alexia, our medical director, on with us.
Hey. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Dr. Alexia. I'm a triple board certified infectious disease physician. I'm a mom, a speaker, an author, a cancer wellness coach, and I am a stage 3 invasive lobular breast cancer survivor thriver. And I create healing pathways so that others can experience total health and cancer wellness, mind, body, and spirit. And I'm so happy to partner with Tracy and BRCASTRONG and to just bring you guys up to speed about what's going on with the site today. So
you missed something. You left out your gene mutation.
Oh, that's right. I am a PAL-B2 mutant. You are so right, Tracy. And I have an ATM gene variant. So I'm such a stand for, people understanding their genetic cancer risk, especially Black women. we are under tested, even though in some instances we are more likely to test positive for certain gene mutations, including BRCA gene mutations. And so just knowledge is power.
I had you, go back and back up about your genetic mutation
Yeah.
because so much more is being found, like with the different genes.
Yeah.
And I feel like the genetic mutation puppy too that you have, so many more women are joining our community and they're questioning it. Now, I
Yeah.
personally know from learning from you, you guys follow what BRCA does. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just interesting. And I wanted to let other women know that, you're not alone and there's different genes and there's different variations. And over
Yeah.
time, they change and we're going to develop.
Yeah. It's important to know. I have so many people say, "Oh, I got tested for the gene, the cancer gene." I'm like, there's more than one, right? And are you certain you only got tested for the BRCA gene mutation, or did you get tested for others? And if you only got tested for BRCA, hey, Johan, you need to go back and get more appropriate genetic counseling and genetic testing.
Well, I was with Inviche this week and just speaking with them, and I learned that they have two different panels. Like there's a
Yeah,
47 and an 84. So, and maybe we could touch base on this just off the
yeah,
subject, a little bit of the topic. But, the question is why are we only screening just for the 10 mutations? Why aren't we doing a full panel of 84? Yes, it might be overwhelming to some women, but there's so many options out there. And if you're going to go through the testing, why not just do the full panel of 84?
yeah. Oh wow, Iron Maiden said her dad is Pal B2 and she's BRCA2. Wow. Yes, and people
Interesting.
can have dual mutations or triple mutations. You're not just only guaranteed to have a single mutation. So like my ATM gene variant, because it's not a perfect match for the known mutations that are associated with increased cancer risk, they don't know what it means. So it's called of undetermined clinical significance. But there was a time where PALB2 was of undetermined clinical significance. And for Black people, if we have a gene variant that is of undetermined clinical significance, it might just be because we're Black and there's just that slight nuance difference because they're comparing, to a largely white gene pool when they do these studies. So if you don't have an exact mutation in Black people, we're more likely to be labeled as of undetermined clinical significance, excuse me. But the more information we gather, the more they can look at patterns of cancer development in people and determine if it's a significant gene mutation or variation. That's what happened with PALB2. Like they didn't know in years past, was it clinically relevant, which kind of is a little shocking to me because it's like the partner and ligator of BRCA2. So like if that's messed up, wouldn't you get all the things associated with BRCA2 or probably most of them? But you have to prove it, right? That's science. You can't just say and assume. You have to prove it. So the more genetic data we collect over a wider population of people, the more we stand to benefit people, and the more we can have previvors in the world, and not just survivors and cancer warriors. Because somebody was asking me this yesterday, like, what supplements can I take to prevent cancer? And I'm like, listen, you can, it's not a magic pill. There's no one magic bullet for cancer prevention. It's lifestyle. And even then you can still end up with cancer, no matter how healthy you eat, how much you exercise, no matter how much you manage your stress, how clean your water is, how good you sleep, and if you supplement perfectly, some of us are still going to get cancer. But when you know your cancer genetics, you can prevent through a prophylactic mastectomy. You can prevent through a prophylactic oophorectomy. So that knowledge is so powerful for us.
You talked about evidence and like clinical information. And,
Yeah.
one thing I do want to stand strong on is something that BRCA does promote is sharing and joining clinical trials for African
Yeah.
American, Black women, and Caribbean women. We do have a call coming up on global genetics, like talking about different ethnicities because there's so much missing data out there. So just stay
Yeah.
tuned for that call, ladies, because knowing what's out there, it's so imperative in knowing your risks and understanding that different ethnicities have higher risks. Or, for example, 40% of African Black women have a higher mortality rate.
Yeah.
Than white women, but collecting data on different disparities or different all different cultures is so important because
Yeah.
that's how we can help other women grow.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
good morning. I'm late to this show. I don't have BRCA and I'm interested in learning more. I was just unlucky and got cancer without higher risks.
Yeah. So most cancer patients fall into that category where there's not a genetic predisposition. Genetically predisposed cancer is only like 10 to 15% of cancers, but you can have familial cancers that may be genetics that we, haven't yet discovered, or it could be familial and genetic in terms of some lifestyle things. So while I we'll never say somebody caused their cancer. There are things in our lifestyle and our environment that can contribute to our increased risk, and those things can be familial, right? Because we tend to follow the patterns, lifestyle, eating, managing stress or not managing stress, sleeping, not sleeping, etc. That's a familial thing. That's learned behavior, and we just perpetuate that, and we can keep getting the same outcomes in families. But yeah, we always say, oh, I did all the right things and I still got cancer. But don't have it that you're wrong about something, or that you didn't do something, or you didn't do enough of something, and that's why you got cancer. But I think, each of us have to approach the having a cancer diagnosis or having a cancer gene mutation in whatever way helps us sleep best at night.
Mhm.
Some people say, like, screw cancer, I'm eating whatever I want. And then other people say, I choose to be and feel empowered by, eating clean and healthy, which I totally support and encourage. But there's not one right or wrong way to do cancer, whether it's pre-viving, surviving, whether you're thriving in, metastatic life. There's not a right or wrong way to do it. So especially if you're going to make yourself right or wrong about something, don't let it be about cancer, please. Like, that's too much of a burden to bear. You do the best
Yeah.
you can at any given moment.
And it's okay to feel the feels, right?
That's right. Feel all the feels.
Yep, exactly,
Feel all the
exactly.
feels. Go through all the motions. Be mad, be angry, be pissed off, curse the world, fall down in the floor, kick and scream.
Yep.
Be numb. Be happy and elated. Like, I remember when I was going through treatment, I was about to write a post about being a happy cancer patient. And I was so afraid that, like, people would be offended that I, like, the nerve of this lady to say she's a happy cancer patient. And, like, I
Right.
erased it and I didn't share it. And, but there are people out there who, find happiness and joy in spite of cancer. And you don't have to feel guilty for feeling that either. Like, we get survivor's guilt, those of us who are um, thriving. And some of it is, maybe luck or chance. And a lot of it, I
Mhm.
think, is just some people's way of being. And we're just all in different places in that regard. But feel all the feels: happy, sad, angry, all of it, overwhelmed. It's natural to feel that way. And if you don't feel the good stuff, I mean, really what it is, we shut off the bad stuff, right? If you don't allow yourself to feel the bad stuff, you don't get to feel and enjoy the good stuff as much as you can.
Exactly.
Because our brain doesn't know the difference. Our brain is just like, oh, we don't emote? Okay, shut it all off.
That's it. Shut down. Well, perfect. So this morning, I'd like to first kick off with let's talk about our fundraiser coming up. So
Yes.
if you have not pre-ordered your shirt, there is limited quantity left. Make sure you get your shirt.
Yes.
In the month of April, we're going on strike. It's not about the breast, it's about the woman. As all of us scroll on social media and just live in our everyday life and get diagnosed or find out we carry a gene, I feel like we tend to block out that we're more than our breast.
Yes.
And, you know, bearing is great, but sharing's better.
Yeah.
We'd like no women in the month of April to bare their breasts and wear their shirts and promote why it's so important that we're more than our breasts and our breasts don't define us.
That's
And
right.
I feel like there's a lack in our community of oh, well, we have breast cancer. Oh, I have the BRCA gene. No, it's not just about what's up here. It's what's in our body and who we are. So if you
Right.
haven't pre-ordered your t-shirt, make sure you support a good cause. 100% of proceeds are going back to BRCA Strong. Join our public event on Facebook. It's not about the breast, it's about the woman. And then I'd like to talk about our website a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Alexia, and then we can go back and forth, talk about our new program. But most importantly, and how our program even started was relaunching our website, which
Yeah.
we're so excited to announce. With that being said, I'll pass over the mic to you for a couple of minutes, and then we can go back and
Yeah,
forth.
absolutely. So if you haven't visited the website, please do visit the BRCA Strong website. It's bracastrong.org. I was about to say, oh, the new and improved, but you know what? It's always been a wonderful site. And, as the organization is growing and seeking to support more women, it's just more user friendly. Our mission is clear. It's right there. It's up front. It's well stated. There's so many stories of other women who are dealing with breast cancer or breast cancer risk. And, just as April's fundraiser is promoting, it's about the woman. It's not about the breast. A lot of times, it's like save the tatas, or, we can get a little caught up in, just talking about the breast. And we are whole and complete human beings who happen to have breasts, and some of us happen to have breasts that are trying to kill us. But at the end of the day, regardless of what we do with them or what they do to us and how we treat them, whether we choose to remove them, keep them, reconstruct them, go flat, the emphasis needs to be on women and sharing our stories, right? When the things that impact us are the stories of the women who we relate to. And we really, really want to make sure we're promoting that. Yeah, or so Kylie says, or the comments of free boob jobs. Right. The emphasis is so much on the breast that we can really be quite insensitive towards women who are experiencing breast cancer or previving breast cancer by saying hurtful things like, oh, at least you get a free boob job, or, save the tatas. No, like at the end of the day, bump these titties. I'm trying to live, so
A hundred
um
percent.
yeah, it's important to be able to see and learn about reconstruction. It's important to be able to have an understanding of what your body might look like on the other side of surgery. It's important to explore your surgical options by knowing what different types of reconstruction might look like. But there's so much more to our stories. There's so much more that we have to go through, beyond just having, lumpectomy, mastectomy, or choosing, not even to have surgery and going through treatment. And the importance of those stories is, what was that woman's outcome? How do I relate to this woman and what she's going through? How does she manage the hot flashes like we just talked about? And will that work for me? And so we have to share that part, because that part about our stories, that part as of being women, of being people who happen to have breasts, is what people remember, and what allows people to advocate for themselves. It's what allows people to bring something to the attention of their primary doctor, their surgeon, their oncologist, right? It's not the imagery. And so while it's important, it's not all that there is to it. So I love the idea of just going on strike. We're going to rock our shirts. We're going to share our stories, and we're going to raise funds for the wonderful work that BRCA Strong is doing to support women who are going through mastectomies, supporting them pre-operatively and post-operatively with the mastectomy kits. So I don't want to
So
bite
with
your
that
head off.
being
That's women.
said,
Yes.
Well, with that being said, first, there's two things. We'll definitely talk about our kits that are coming, but first, you
Yes.
brought up a really good important point about, breast reconstruction options, right?
Yeah.
When we redid BRCA Strong, I felt that there's a really big lack in our community with physicians. There's no gold standard in plastic surgery,
Yeah.
because you go see physician A and he just does implants, you don't learn about physician B who does flaps, or
Yeah.
physician C who does flap closure. So now on BRCA Strong, we have every available breast reconstruction option available on our website. Do not miss this opportunity.
Yeah.
Every option that is out there is available on our website. Our term glossary is now available for
Yeah.
those of us who don't understand the terms or go to our doctors and we're like, yeah, okay. And we
Yep.
go home and we're like, wait, LCIS, what?
Right.
TNBC, what? So now those terms are available.
Yeah.
On top of that, you talked about sharing our stories. Fabulous. You have a story, you want to share it, make sure you email or contact us. And we would love to feature you on BRCA Strong, encouraging other women who are in your situation, just sharing stories and giving women light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Most importantly, why we did this Instagram Live is 2021 was a struggle for many nonprofits and businesses, and we just kept floating. But through my vision and through my mission of having BRCA Strong for 5 years, I wanted to make sure that I made a difference. And my difference is to fund women pre-mastectomy care packages. We will be doing from here on out for 2021 for women who are just diagnosed with breast cancer, women who just found out they carry the BRCA gene or genetic mutation, or starting treatments. We are here for you, and now we'll be supplying to women robes with drain holders, post-mastectomy garments, and 2 mastectomy pillows. We do need a letter of hardship for those who qualify. We do not ask for any financial documents. We will need a letter. For more information on that, you can reach out to myself, Dr. Alexia, go on our website. But again, for 2021, BRCA Strong's first program is pre-mastectomy care packages. If you or a family or a friend need these packages, you can feel free to reach out to us, or you can actually sponsor a woman. Sponsor a woman is you go on and send somebody a package you know or somebody you don't know and donate $150 to make a difference in a woman's life.
Yeah.
And our last program is Bras for Brave Beauties, which is to fund women lymphedema sleeves, post-mastectomy bras, and also bathing suits, because it is very hard to find bathing suits for women with flat closure or women who have implants or have gone flaps. So we're excited for all of these programs and all these opportunities to continue to make a difference, to help women feel whole again. You know, one thing, and maybe you can relate as well, you know, is going through and preparing for my mastectomy. What do I need? What do I have everything? And I hate so many barriers. Are products going to be covered? What's not going to be covered? And how can I feel whole again? And what can I do? And I didn't have a post-mastectomy bra. I didn't have post-mastectomy pillows. I didn't have right, or a robe with a drain belt. I didn't have any of this, or pink pockets to put my drains in. I took like one of my daughter's yarns of string, I tied it around my waist, or I tied it around my neck, and I made it a necklace, and that's how I went. And I feel that women really need this. This is a need in our community. It's not a want, it's a need. So if we can help you, we're here for you.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the most embarrassing thing happened to me because I didn't have anything when I went into surgery either. And you know, when you get a cancer diagnosis, people will be like, what do you need? You have no idea what you need. So that's the beauty of these kits, is that nobody has to guess or figure it out. People who have already been through it and lived it know exactly what you need. Here's a kit. Or, you know, go on and sponsor your own family member for that matter, right? If you don't want to go through the financial, you know, proof or whatever, just, you know, Tracy, I want to sponsor my sister. Tracy, I want to sponsor my mother, cousin, neighbor, right? And a kit could be put together for that person. Or I've been through it. I saw my mother go through it. I saw my sister go through it. And I want to sponsor a woman and, you know, make the donation. That's a beautiful thing because we have no idea what we need. You can never in the beginning answer that question. So you need the shared stories. You need the organization to say, here's what we can do. So Kylie has a question about a lumpectomy kit, Tracy. Because, of course, that's not an option, right, that we often talk about. So I want you to answer that question.
So, Kylie, I would love to touch base with you. We actually can talk about a post mastectomy bra that has some compression in it. We're working with Prairie Wear, Vita, and Hugger and the Prima. And I'd love to be able to talk to you and give you more information on that. It's basically has a little light compression. So after you go in for your lumpectomy, it holds back from swelling and avoiding seromas and all this information. So I would love to be able to give you that details. I will be happy after the call is over today to send you a DM or send me one because we'd love to support you. The other thing that I did leave out was prosthesis.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women are not comfortable talking about it or asking for prosthesis. We do fund women prosthesis as well. I had a woman last week reach out to me. She had a mastectomy with no reconstruction at the time. She's undergoing treatment, but she felt like she was just alone and not comfortable. And I said, well, what can we do to make a difference? And we sent her a bra with 2 prostheses, and she's like, this has made a world of a difference for me. I didn't even know this existed.
Yeah.
So there is options out there, ladies. There's for lumpectomies, for unilaterals, for bilaterals, for just symmetry. There's all different kinds of options. There's all different kinds of bras. And it's just not post-mastectomy bras, right? A lot of us struggle finding bras after we have surgery.
Yeah.
You know, like what kind of bra? We can't go to Victoria's Secret. We're just not able to now, right?
Underwires and cups and hardness and foam and
we would
can't fit into that stuff. And it's a smoother transition when you have undergarments that fit you properly, that help you look good in your clothes, that help you feel confident, because that's important. You know, it's not just it's not vanity to want to look and feel good in your clothes. It plays into your psyche. It plays into your self-confidence. It plays into how you show up to work. You know, you just want to feel whole, whatever whole looks like and is for you. And sometimes it's just having that prosthesis. You know, 2 very hard moments I remember along the way during my cancer treatment journey. I remember being on the bus stop and my drains dropped out of my shirt. So they were like just dangling in the wind while I'm standing out on my block waiting for my kid to get off the school bus. Thank God she's in elementary school and not junior high school or high school when that happened, you know, because that would get you crucified. But it was horrifying. You know, I was like, I didn't know about robes with drains. I would have rather been out on the curb in a robe with drain holders and been secure and comfortable and look good than to have been in my big ugly plaid shirt with a bunch of safety pins and my drains falling out. And then the other major like hard time that I had was the first time I had a speaking engagement after my diagnosis, and I was still pretty much flat after my mastectomy. I had the tissue expanders in place, but you know, I maybe had 1 fill, and for this particular speaking engagement, you know, they requested that I wear white. And, you know, I was just like, I know exactly what dress I'm wearing. I look so good in this dress. And I looked so good in that dress when I had breasts. And when I did not have breasts, I didn't look good in it or anything else in my closet because I was always dressing for my previous body. And I just remember sitting on the floor in my closet, crying my eyes out. And I didn't have prosthesis. I didn't have a nice post-mastectomy bra. I just hadn't considered those things. In my mind, I'm reconstructing. I knew I had to go through the process of tissue expansion and all of that stuff. But I just didn't know to consider those things. And it just didn't occur to me, like, chemo and radiation is months long process. And you got to go to work and you got to speak on stages and you have to do all these things that you're up to. And you can't do that when you don't feel good and confident. So it was just a terrible moment. And I don't want anybody to have to go through that doesn't have to have that experience.
100%. And I can relate to that. You know, Mrs. Fraley just posted, you know, I started using knitted knockers, and I'm really glad that she brought that up because for those of you that don't know, Knitted Knockers is free. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, amazing organization. I personally have benefited from it drastically recently right now as I've undergone one loss of one implant, and knitted knockers has definitely helped me step up my game and actually, going on a stage and talking or going out to meetings. These aren't things that are all comfortable, and what can we do to make sure that they're comfortable?
Yeah.
Like when we go out, what happens? Like, how do we feel whole? How do you stand up? You think all eyes are on you, right? Because you don't know what people are thinking. People don't know what you're going through.
Right.
So Knitted Knockers has been an amazing support and really has an amazing product, and
Yeah.
women dedicating their time to helping other women feel whole again.
Yeah.
Like you said, going through this process, you didn't think about what you needed or how you were going to feel whole. But like now, as you've learned probably over the years about the different products that are out there,
Yeah.
I mean, if we were all just given this information, like when we went to our plastic surgeons, I think life would be different for a lot of us.
Yeah.
We go to our plastic surgeons, or we end treatment, or we end with our breast surgeon. It's see you later, you're done. No,
Yeah.
it's not over. The journey just doesn't end. And we need to focus again on feeling whole and helping, women not feel like they're in isolation and just really supporting each other.
Yeah.
So that's why we've created this amazing community with my amazing board, who I'm so blessed to have on. Again, if you have not participated in our fundraiser, make sure you get your t-shirt, pre-order now. Sizes are limited, and we look forward to an amazing fundraiser in
Yes.
April.
And to hear some amazing and powerful stories that are going to help other women. So remember, you don't have to have BRCA, you don't have to have a gene mutation to share your story with us. So please do that. Go on the website, BRCASTRONG.org, and you'll see the link to share your story. You'll see the link to donate. You'll see the stories that have already been shared, and you'll see all the ways in which we are able to help the community.
And make sure you join us on Tuesday with Dr. Angelina Lee for the COVID vaccine and high-risk screening for women. I just see a note. There's something I wanted to work with my cancer center. It's helping influence poor organizations to plug into, helping your local cancer centers and communities.
Yeah.
To everybody that's listening is so imperative, because you don't want to be alone, and knowing that you can make a difference in one person's life, even if it's one person a day or one person a week, sharing your story can change the view on their perspective. Getting your screenings, getting mammograms, early detection, saves lives. Knowledge is power. Sometimes the knowledge we have is too much. Let's step back, review it, and process it.
Yep. Yeah. You don't know what you don't know. And so sometimes you just need somebody to, open your eyes to a certain situation or just make you aware. And so rather than looking in 50 different places, you can have one central place to find so much of what you need. And as a patient, and as patients in general, Kylie, you can bring so much to your cancer center. And just because somebody else is doing the work already doesn't mean that you can't jump in and do the work. I take things to my cancer center all the time. Things that I felt like when I was a patient, if I had known about this, if this was one of the pamphlets in the room while I was waiting for the doctor, this would have been so much more helpful. Or your pamphlet's too wordy, I didn't even want to read it, but here's some beautiful infographics that I think you should display as well, right? We have so much to bring to the organizations, the doctors, the cancer centers that we were treated at, and they are usually willing to partner with their patients to help all patients have a better experience. So I'm constantly passing things to the receptionist or to my doctors to display in the exam rooms, especially now during COVID. Where we're all isolated and you can't come to the cancer center and, have group, they don't have time to revamp and, build online community and things like that. So, patients are kind of left without the same support some of us may have benefited from when we were going through surgery or chemo. And so even just sharing what is available and on social media and what websites the patients can connect through, or I'm a lymphedema warrior, and one of our receptionists at the cancer center is a survivor, and that's how she ended up working there. And she has lymphedema, and she's like, where did you get a sleeve that matched your skin? I'm like, oh, from this boutique. And then when I came in with my Lymphedema sleeve, she's like, oh my God, where did you get those from? So I'm like, oh, you don't know about this? So I had them send me swatches of all of their different designs. And, I dropped that off at my cancer center. There wasn't much information for women of color. So I got a stack of pamphlets from For the Rest of Us. And, you know, that's the beautiful thing about this community is that it's collaborative and there's room for everybody. And so, don't feel like, oh, somebody else is already doing that, so I can't do it. No, we need as many people on board doing this work, sharing the information, because, somebody might relate to Tracy, somebody might relate to me, and somebody might relate more to one of you in the audience who's going to share your story with us. So please make sure you do that and don't hesitate to, get out there and share with your doctors. Your doctor knows what they know from the standpoint of their expertise, but if they've not been a patient, they often don't anticipate the things that you can now anticipate after having that lived experience. So share your voice, share your story, and help patients by helping your doctors or the support system within your cancer center better understand what the patient experience is, and that this thing that you're doing is not useful, but this would be really useful to patients, and maybe you want to move this direction.
Yes, it's been tricky. I got my gene test results the first day of lockdown last year in the UK. Made the steps move slowly. So, I see that UK is different than the US and the Canadian system, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very familiar personally with the UK system. We do have a call coming up, though, on our Canadian system versus our US healthcare system, actually with Dr. Alexia and High Heel Diaries. So we definitely
Mm-hmm.
look forward to that. And if there's anybody in the UK that wants to come on and talk about the UK system versus the US healthcare system, that'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've heard, the UK system is rather easy to work through, but I don't know if you're familiar at all with it.
Not, I mean, yes and no. I mean, they don't have to go through all of the craziness of prior auths and, can I have this? Can I have that? Right? There's one standard of care. There's not the issue of, reworking and, trying to get creative with the standard of care because one insurance pays this, one insurance pays that, this is out of reach to the patient or not available in their area. I know those kinds of things are less of an issue and care can be a little more seamless. For quote unquote elective things, I know, they can be a little less timely than they might be here in the US because there's not that capitalistic aspect of medicine that can move certain people through quicker in the United States. So there's issues on either end of that.
Side.
But I think, at the end of the day, people get taken care of.
Most important.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning and coming on and
absolutely.
sharing. Again, for those of you who haven't, pre-order your t-shirts. Don't forget, limited sizes. Go to BRCASTRONG.org. Check out our programs and event calendar coming up for the month. We have some amazing phone calls, and we just added in a learn how to do your own makeup with one of our ambassadors, Miss Teen International. Clay Makeup has decided to help us and promote and inspire women every day to just help them feel whole again, whether it's just getting up and putting on your lipstick. I see you already have your lipstick on.
Yes,
I'll give you
ma'am.
a good laugh as we spoke. I had truly good intentions and didn't put it on.
Put it on right now, girl. Put it on right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Listen, if I didn't do anything when I went to chemo, I filled in them eyebrows and I put on some red lipstick because when you look good, you feel good. Even if it's for the last 5 minutes of the live, like go for it. I am here for it.
Most important, I never wear red lipstick, and I was on a call recently and I felt like the power in her voice, and I'm like, I need some red lipstick. Where's mine at? So I got one. Thanks, Mary Kay. Love it to death. And, just again, like you said, that little thing that you don't thing can help you feel good, or the little
Yeah.
foundation or whatever you put on. It's just the quality of life that you make it. When we
Yeah.
feel bad, we don't want to get up, we don't want to get dressed. We want to make sure that we empower women, even if it's just to look at yourself in the mirror and say you're beautiful. I am working
Yes.
on some pieces for us. I have Scars Are Sexy right now, but I need some oomph to put on our mirrors. We're working on some images and stickers, so we look forward to sharing all of that and
Yeah.
all of this amazing news. And thank you again, Dr. Alexia. I hope everybody has a fantabulous Sunday
Yes.
and look
Happy
forward to a great week.
Sunday. Thank you guys for joining us.
Awesome. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.